was an annual event. I'm not a promoter by any means. I just, certainly have interest in the late model programs and having some. I'd like to see. I'd like to see a couple races a year, 4 or 5, good races a year, kind of like we used to do with the different series that ran. Start out slow and see we gather some support. You get the guys up in the Northwest together once or twice a year, and the people down here, and do a couple big races that make it worthwhile for the guys to come out. Plus, something to support the cars.
Sure.
You bet.
Well, we just had Joey Tanner, one of our late model drivers here in the Northwest, on the line here at Northwest Dirt News, and he was saying he's heading down to that show. He wants to take a shot at that $3,000. The weather here in Oregon absolutely sucks this weekend, and he's going to go down and race with you guys. Who have you confirmed as coming to that show? Are you going to run that one yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to run it. Obviously, I'm going to run it myself. Bobby Ho's going to run my other car down there. I believe Ortabella. I just kind of put out a call today to some guys to see if some of the guys are coming down, like Papich, Tony Toast, Drake. I'm not sure. I haven't heard from any of them, haven't got any commitment at all. But trying to get a full field. It looked like we're going to get a mix of cars, hopefully get a full field of cars, which, we haven't had in a while anyway. So, and there might be a couple, Placerville cars, a couple crate cars that come down, possibly. We're going to bring, I think, 3 or 4 from my area right here.
What about Sanders and Childress and those guys?
I just was texting Bobby Hogue tonight. Was hoping he was going to check with them. There's no other races going on, and
right.
So I haven't heard. So hopefully a couple of those guys will come up. I haven't been able to reach out to them yet, but we're hoping.
Yeah, no kidding. When we had Joey on the line just right before you called in, I kind of gave him the history of Larry Damitz's career and who he was, and Joey kind of said, "Oh, wait a second." I told him, I said, "Now when you go down there, this is who you're racing for. This is the memory of this guy. We're talking about a guy that had a career that spanned, from 53 all the way through, just 2017, where he's 87 years old and still winning races
and championships."
Yeah, he was incredible. We had just spent 10 days in Arizona. Basically, he was down in Arizona with me. We took the late model down, and Bobby went down to race the Wild West deal down there in Arizona. We only got to race a few times. We did get rained out a couple times, but Larry was there every day with us. In the pits working on the car, and we were teasing him. He wish he would have bought his car. He was putting together a late model for a local guy here that he was going to they were going to run, and he came back. He drove our car back Monday. He was at my shop Wednesday and was supposed to go to the motor builder, pick up a cam, because he was putting 2 motors together for himself, and I think that's the day he passed away. But he was strong right to the end, and
that's amazing.
He went to practices in January. He was getting everything dialed in. So
well, when I was reading the history on Larry, and I had to read the section twice where it said he was 87 and he'd won 5 of the last 6 late model championships at Antioch. I said, wait a second.
5 of the 6 limited late model championships was like, and one year he won 2 because he won in Mercedes Championship and Antioch the same year he traveled.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
So, and he won over half the races every time, I believe. Yeah.
Wow.
That's incredible.
And that's a pretty strong field. Those guys run hard, and he was incredible.
Most people are hoping to live to be 87. This dude's making 87 his girlfriend. Unbelievable that for a man to do that. That is an awesome deal and inspiration, I'm sure, to everybody, especially in your area.
He would take his cars, and he didn't like the way they felt. He would cut this whole suspension off them and change them. He'd have 2 cars and then try different things on different cars till he found something. He was searching constantly for the feel and everything he liked.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Whoa.
Anything for a little horsepower, anything for a little bit of, anything he could get out of the car.
What a great story.
Paul, I've got 4 people sitting here at the table in the studio at Northwest Dirt News, and I wish you could see the look on all of our faces. We're just looking at each other in complete awe. Like, this guy's doing this at 87 years old. I know guys that couldn't do that at 60. It's an awesome deal. What an inspiration to everybody.
I know guys that can't do that at 30.
Yeah, well, you're one of them.
So, hey, easy.
I think I think if the number of people that have raced with him or against him, there's going to be. I know the Michellis. Me and my wife and our company are obviously putting up a lot for this. But the Michelli family out of the valley up here,
Matt?
Matt and his dad. His dad raced with Larry for years, and then Matt obviously has. I think they're coming down to the race.
Nice.
They've helped support it, and. But, I mean, if you just think of the people that have raced against him over the years, and, we went to Arizona for years down there, and with a big Oregon contingency, we used to hang out and camp together, and Larry was racing, and he was winning, damn near winning down there. I remember Manzanita. He won a heat race in Manzanita against a bunch of the big boys when they were down there that show.
Wow. That is fantastic.
And he was in his, 70s then. So.
Well, let's see. Joey Tanner's 21 now, isn't he?
No, I think.
Well, Joey was down there. I think when Joey first started racing,
right.
he was down
That's
there.
what he said.
Remember, yeah.
He was 15
and,
at the time.
I think Joey's actually 26 now.
Is he that old?
Yeah.
Oh.
He just looks like a baby.
Yeah, we remember Joey was,
Yeah.
And Larry was there. But,
Man, yeah, Joey said he got to go down there and actually race against him when he was there, and he was just a kid with the PCDLM. And
he came up to Medford with me several times. We ran it. Yeah, he ran all over. I mean, anywhere. And the stories of them racing and the races, the open shows, they put bounties on them, down here to beat them on these open shows.
I love that.
I do too.
That is absolutely awesome.
But he was the nicest, most, gentle guy, but he was a fierce competitor. Boy.
It's the quiet ones you got to watch out for, right?
Yep.
That's cool. So are we going to see you up in the Northwest at all this year? I know you've come up a couple times.
I printed the schedules. I was looking at them, and in fact, I talked to Joey the other day. I was looking for a couple days, a couple kind of paired shows I could come up to.
Sure.
And bring a couple guys up. Maybe we talked to Bobby about coming up there, trying to get away, and later on in the year. I'm actually going out of the country on the 20th. I'm going to be out of the country for 3 weeks, a little vacation. But after that, I'm going to be looking for somewhere to go.
Well, wait, hang on. Paul, you're going on vacation during race season?
Yes.
Joel, he's married. He's like the rest of us that have girlfriends and wives.
So it's part of the racing negotiations.
It's part of the life, yeah.
You got to keep the sponsors happy.
That's right. So, man, I am excited to see you kind of back in this show, just because we like big shows. It's good to have those. We don't have enough of them out here in the West Coast area in the Western United States.
All of us sitting here right now are all.
I can't hear you that well. I'm sorry.
All of us are super late model supporters.
Yeah, and it's just for you to see you backing a big show like this is I want to say thanks, because we love to see the big shows. There's not enough of them out here in the Western states, and hopefully this deal will really just take off and then become an iconic event like the Budweiser Nationals.
Yeah, I think I'd really like to see that. I mean, again, I'm not a promoter, but I've raced around enough and being a businessman, and I know it's a tough show and a tough deal, but. I'm just thinking if we could, get some sponsors and, raise a little bit of money. Like me, I have some contacts with, people that, a lot of the people that I work with, they keep track of the racing. And what I didn't really try on this because this is a personal thing with me and the Damitz show, Larry. But I think that out there we could gather enough for a couple of shows a year and put some money to something and get some, guys down. But you need support across the board, I've traveled extensively supporting, what I can when I can,
sure.
And just to be there and be that guy. It doesn't, but it's hard to do for everybody, and just sometimes we got to get together and get these things going and talking about them and then planning them. I know they have these events in December where the promoters get together, and hopefully this does okay or well enough where we get people talking, and that's what we need.
Well, I think with $3,000 to win, I think that's not going to be an issue. I think the drivers will be there.
Yeah, I think so. And again, like I say, it'll. I'm sure it's going to be an annual event here in town for Larry at Antioch. But I'd like to do more, spur more on, and I think we can get the money up a little bit too.
Sure.
And spread around the. We're doing 300 to start because I thought it was important to pay down for the people that are going to support the show.
Yeah.
And 3,000 to win. We're going to do a dash. So anyway, we're trying to do it right and take care of the people that support it.
Well, that's an awesome deal. What kind of format are you going to use at this show?
Right now, at Antioch, their scoreboard, they had a big issue with one of the storms here. It blew out the scoreboard. They're getting another scoreboard, so they don't have the timing that I think we're going to need. It's possible that they'll have it ready by the race, but we can't promise. So I didn't want to do anything. So I think we're just going to go with their regular format, pill draw, heat races, and, pull some out of for the top cars out into a dash.
Sure. Is
all we could do now. If we get timing and scoring, then hopefully we'll be able to do that. But I can't promise that. And again, John's agreed to kind of step up and support me doing this and his part too. So hopefully he'll kind of go with the flow the first time.
Well, I think it'll be successful either way. It's just you put up the money and you're racing in honor of a very popular gentleman that meant a lot to a lot of you guys down there. And I want to wish you guys the best of luck on this show, and I wish I could make it. Unfortunately, we have a daughter getting ready to have a little girl, and I'm not going to make it, but Warren might be heading down that way with Joey Tanner. And
fantastic. So any other, besides Joey, any other possibilities of cars coming down?
We don't know.
I can't guarantee that, but he did say that Darren Koffel's coming down with him to pit for him. So doesn't sound like Darren's bringing his car, but we're trying to figure out if anybody else is going. There's not any late model action going to be here in the Northwest with the rains that we're going to have, and hopefully some guys will pack up and roll down that way.
Yeah, and if there's anything we could do to help them out, we'd love to help them out. So
absolutely,
we'll be sure and get something posted on Moxie Media's page.
We absolutely will. We'll get that put up for you. And again, man, thanks for stepping up and helping to back up a great show and hopefully a big show for many years.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. Hope a great weekend. Hope to talk to you guys again and get to talk about what a great turnout we had and a great show. And then hopefully get to plan something up your way.
Absolutely, and we will definitely follow up with you on this show.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you,
Paul.
sir.
Thanks to everybody.
Have a great night. What a cool guy. I mean, that's Paul. That's Paul for you right there. He's just down to earth and laid back. And we talked to him extensively at the Bud Nationals last year.
Yes, we did.
Even when they were just kind of working on the car, just kind of like it was just regular everyday conversation like that. And just a cool, laid back dude. We've seen him come up to Willamette a few times over the last 4 or 5 years, and he's got great equipment.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got some real nice equipment. He's got Bobby, helping him out and driving one of his
Sounds
team
like
cars.
he's helping Bobby out.
Well, yeah, but that's a two-way street.
Right. Well, that's the racing world. That's so cool.
So, man, that's he's putting up that money out of his own pocket with Vaca Valley,
so maybe we
Valley Excavating.
Maybe we just need to get him and Dan Dybel together and let those two start promoting.
Man, I don't know. We might end up with $1 million to win show.
Yeah, we would.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Game on.
we'll be building cars.
$1 million to win and $100 a start.
I'll tell you what. We're gonna have a double Z main that night.
No kidding.
A double
You'd have
Z
every car in
main.
the country here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. That whole deal down there, I think that is a show that we're going to be talking about because
absolutely,
it's number one. It's the personality behind it, the memory of Damitz. I mean, it sounds like he really meant a lot to so many people down there, and was not just a racer, but it sounds like he was a role model for a lot of those guys.
Absolutely. I mean, at 87, going out and winning the last 5 out of 6 limited late model championships at 87.
To be walking at 87, let alone winning championships on dirt tracks. I
only regret I didn't get to meet him.
The closest thing we have to someone like Larry in our neck of the woods is Jody Tanner.
I'd say Glenn Hackney.
Yeah, definitely. That's who came to mind.
Glenn Hackney, too.
I mean, Glenn's only 114.
Yeah.
He's still got 2 or 3 years left in him.
Yeah. I don't know if he has that many motors, but he.
What a bad week a couple weeks ago. We love Glenn, and we always make sure we stop by the pit area. Over there.
I stopped by his shop and tried to get him to come on the show. Just
he wasn't going to have it.
Because he goes back to the beginning of Willamette Speedway.
He really does. He's been there since day one. The history.
Yeah, he
was there day one.
He was there before they put dirt on that track.
Yeah, I mean
he was cutting cookies with Fred Flintstone on the bedrock.
he is.
My dad raced with him back in the day.
Glenn, he's just a fun dude.
Joel's got problems.
He's got some issues. He's got a wrist problem over there. Anyway, we're coming up on the 8 o'clock hour. It's 10 minutes to 8. I wanted to do this break at 8 o'clock, but we'll take that and we'll come back with the
We
high
will come
octane.
back.
We will come back, and we're going to come back, and at around the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to start the high octane diecast hot pit segment.
Hot pits.